Welcome, you filthy animals, to Blockbuster Mentality, the show where we dive deep into the world of cinema. I'm your host, Ben Secord. Today, Dave and I will be giving our top 5 comic book movies. Now, that can be from comics, it can be superheroes, anything that's comic book related. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So I know you're not a big comic book guy, are you, Dave?
I'm not the biggest comic book guy, no. This list it's okay. I mean, what about you? I know you like comic book movies. Are you a comic book reader?
I am. I mean, yes and no. I mean, when you say comic book reader, it's like you're an avid, every week on Wednesday going to the comic book store and getting comics. That's not me.
Right.
But I enjoy reading them whenever someone recommends a good arc or something like that. Like I read the whole Infinity Gauntlet storyline, which is to do with Thanos and the new Avengers movies. The Avenger movie that's coming out next year in 2018 is going to be that whole basically storyline.
Right.
So I've read that whole thing. There's different arcs that I've read, but I've never been like a regular like weekly kind of guy. Have you?
I've never read a single comic book in my
Really?
life.
Really? Not just like
Never.
when you were a
Not
kid?
once. Nope.
Interesting.
I never had an interest in it.
Wow.
Never did it. I mean, I read other books, but
Yeah.
not comic books.
I mean, the whole, what Marvel's done, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, how they started with Iron Man.
Right.
I mean, that got me really into it. Like, that got me hooked. I mean, I've read a couple of comic books before then, just here and there when I was a kid and stuff. But, like, until, like, Iron Man came out, like, I really wasn't big into it. And I think these movies have totally like made a whole new generation of fans and
I think that's
people
true.
from all over like these movies now. Like it's not this quote unquote nerds and things like that,
Well, they've done a very good job of expanding beyond the typical guy, I guess, or girl. But yeah, I guess I never had a friend or anything that was like, hey, you got to read this. It's really cool, sort of thing. So I would have had to like seek it out on my own, which I just didn't. I didn't have not opposed to it, but I am not a comic book guy.
Okay.
And when I look at these movies, I don't care per se about the characteristics of each superhero or whatever. So
Right.
I'm judging it on, is it a movie that I like? So
Right.
If the superhero is portrayed or the comic book guy is portrayed in a way that is maybe not authentic or doesn't do what most fans think he should do, or if there's a flaw there, I don't care.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I'm not that guy.
Right. Yeah. You're not like that invested into it. So I know you're not a reader, but like when the movies come out, are you ever like, oh, I gotta see this in the theater?
Yeah, oh, definitely. I mean, because I like even the old, the old Superman movie. I still watch them all, and I enjoyed them. The old Batman.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like it. I like what they are. Those kinds of superheroes are cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if a movie can do them well, which for a long period of time they did not do them well.
Right. Yeah.
I guess maybe it just waited for the development of CGI just to catch up with what to show that world that didn't look super cheesy.
Right.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what I thought. I mean, because I'm definitely, a guy that's going to go out and see them on opening day, typically, or at least opening weekend.
I'm not anti, but I'm also not like,
right, yeah,
I gotta see the new whatever.
Right? Yeah, you're like totally. You're more of like just like a casual.
Yeah, it's like
fan.
So like Christopher Nolan, right? I like Christopher Nolan. So I hear the Batman's or the first one was really good, surprisingly good. So I'm excited for the Dark Knight and all that stuff because it's a Nolan movie primarily, but also because it's it's cool. It's Batman, whatever. But yeah, it's not that I just want to see Batman. It's like I think this is going to be a good movie.
Yeah.
On its own, the way I would judge any other movie.
Right. Yeah, no, I like that too. Yeah, and I'm not one of those guys who, obviously, since I'm not like a weekly comic book reader, where if it's not accurate to the comics, I won't. Oh, nope, I can't like that part of it. If it's a good movie, it's a good movie.
I know.
That's what I care about. I don't care because even there's been some where I know what happens in the comics and it didn't play out that way in the movie. But if it was well made,
right.
Great,
it's its own entity.
Right,
to judge it on the other thing is not really that fair.
Yeah, it's not fair at all. So let's get into the list. You want to kick it off?
Yeah, my number 5 is this one. You said counted before we talked.
Yes,
is 300.
Oh yes, yep. Frank Miller, I think.
Yeah,
is I
love this movie. Just it's so cool just to look at.
Right,
You
yeah.
know, it's just so stylish. It's almost like I think it was a graphic novel, right?
Yep, graphic novel.
But it's
so
it's
we'll count
brought
it.
to life.
Yeah.
And it's cool because it's a really good story.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
it's a true story. And I don't know, I just love this movie. Gerard Butler was good.
It put him on the map.
Yeah.
And
Cersei's in this.
And it started this whole trend of the whole 300 workout or whatever was. Like there was this whole, I think there's gyms made off of it now and stuff. But yeah, I love that movie. I mean, just the look of it is just so cool. It's just a fun movie. I mean, it's a tragic movie, really. I mean, it's you know the bad guys, the good guys lose.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, it's got that whole.
It's
you know,
heroic.
yeah, heroic. Exactly.
And it's almost like a fantasy the way they did it. But,
Yeah.
But the way the story is told, I guess, you know, going to see the I don't know what they were, the priestess or whatever to
Right,
like learn
yeah.
your fate or whatever, all that stuff, and then, you know, defending this little space of land to kind of save your country and maybe civilization and all that stuff. It's just so cool. I love this thing when it came out. I was like kind of blown away by it.
Yeah, I mean, Zack Snyder, I mean, say what you will about what he's doing with, you know, the DC universe. He knows how to do action. I mean, this movie was just...
I actually, you know, that I'll say that though. I like the Superman and the Batman versus Superman.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, I don't hate on it as much as other people do. It's just it just was a hot mess. Just like story-wise and narratively just was not.
But it's
all
cool
there.
looking.
Yeah, cool looking. Like I said, actually, like
great.
those Batman action scenes are
Yeah.
the best Batman action scenes
Yeah.
I think in any movie. To be honest.
And I think it's actually one of the better portrayals of Batman,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, the Christopher Nolan stuff dealt with a lot of different things, but I kind of like Batman to just be a vengeful guy.
Right.
And
Yeah.
to just crack heads for that reason.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
those,
not this like inner turmoil. Kind of just, I don't know. I get it, and the other stuff going on, like being like a personal journey. But no, I actually want a vigilante to just go kick ass.
Yeah. No.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's who he is. He's like my representative. Like just to go. There's someone that's evil. Go get him. I don't
Yeah.
care if it's not within the law.
right.
But I
yeah.
like that. But
Well, and I like how he's hey, this is a comic book show, so whatever. We're gonna talk about just anything comic books. I like how he's just not an everyday guy. He's a billionaire, but he's someone who doesn't have superpowers.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
and that's just what I love about Batman. We'll definitely obviously talk.
Well, I
about
guess that's
that
sort of
later.
like 300. I mean,
yeah, 300. Yeah.
think about this. I mean, like you say, they're regular guys, but they did a super heroic thing. You know, and in their own way, they
And
became
it's like strategic
superheroes.
too. Like they were smart about it and bottlenecked all those people into
Right.
that little valley.
Yeah, it's
whatever
a
you
little
call it.
path, a little
Yeah.
mountain pass.
Yeah.
So it's like there's only 300 of us, and if we can just guard this little patch
Yeah.
of land, it doesn't matter how big that army is ahead of us or in front of us, and we're gonna hold out until we die to give everybody else behind us time to live and prepare.
Yeah, and
It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's got those hurrah moments just because it's like got badass
Yeah.
violence and like just badass scenes. But it also has a cool story, just like how this all happened and the heroic of it. But let's
Right.
be honest, I mean, this movie is just badass. I mean, it
It
looks
is.
amazing.
It's
Awesome
so
action
badass.
scenes. This is Sparta. Kicks him off into the pit. Just instant classic in my book. One of the best, I'd say, even like just action movies.
Yeah.
Of all time. So
And it spun off like a lot of other things like Sin City to come off. And
yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
Sin City, like that had that same look.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't see the sequel for 300 that just came
I
out
didn't
a
either.
year or
I
two
honestly
ago.
had no interest.
Yeah,
in
me
it.
neither. But 300 has Cersei Lannister in
Yeah.
it. One of her, or I don't know if it's one of her first, but anyways, it's what I recognized when I first saw Game of Thrones. I was like, she looks familiar. She's from 300, the Queen. So
for sure. But I just love how it really made. I didn't even see the graphic novel, but I can imagine. The style made the pages come to life.
Yeah.
You just could feel you were watching almost something fake,
Yeah.
but not, and then it was moving. I don't know. The style was
yeah,
incredible.
I love the use of slow motion
Yeah.
and just like you said, the style is just absolutely wonderful. No, I love that choice. That's that's again, it's not a superhero movie, but it's from a graphic novel. It's
Ben
a comic
allowed
book,
it.
so I allowed it, folks. I allowed it. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. Hello. YouTube, folks.
How you guys doing? So what do you got for number 5?
My number 5 is 2012's The Avengers. First time they finally all got together. So we had Iron Man come out. We had Iron Man 2 come out. We had Incredible Hulk. We had Captain America and Thor come out. when they first announced that, this is what they were doing,
Yeah.
after the first Iron Man, after Nick Fury shows up after, the end credits, I was like, this is never going to happen. Yeah, they're going to get our hopes up, and it's just whatever. It's not going to happen. But when they started building this universe one by one, I was like, oh my God, it's actually going to happen. And when this movie came out, first of all, the hype for it was just unreal. I mean, because again, this was something that was years in the making.
Yeah.
But it's just a really good movie. Again, it sets up the story at the very beginning, sets up motives. It introduces the characters perfectly. They're not gonna just all get along right away.
Right.
They had clashes.
Yeah.
The Iron Man and Captain America are clashing. You got Thor and Hulk clashing. I love the way that it just slowly, not even slowly, I mean, it was a fast-paced movie, but it just slowly just kind of built up until they finally team up and take down what ends up being Thanos at the end. He's pulling the strings of this all. So this first movie is basically going to it sets up what we're waiting for next year. So this first movie is Thanos pulling the strings, and Thanos is finally the bad guy in the third Avengers movie in 2018. So that's how much they built this thing.
Which is what's it called?
Oh, Infinity War.
Okay,
the Avengers Infinity War.
Wait, has that trailer come?
No, yeah, we talked about it like three shows ago.
About the release of the talking about the trailer.
Yes,
still haven't.
Hey, it's got a lot of listens.
Oh, goodness.
Probably because people are like, "Oh, it's the Infinity War trailer. Let me click on this." But anyways, thanks for listening. But yeah, the Avengers.
Well, we're just trying to talk about anything that comes out. I mean, they're really slow dripping this thing.
Right, exactly. But yeah, I love the use of the Hulk in this movie. Hulk is just the best I've ever seen Hulk.
Yeah.
And I was iffy about Mark Ruffalo at first when I first heard that he was going to be in it. Totally kills it. I'm so glad that was him and not Edward Norton.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Ruffalo's a good actor, though.
Yeah.
He handles anything well.
Yeah, he's great. But yeah, I love this movie. I mean,
Jeremy Renner.
All of them together, finally.
Yeah, no, it's a good movie. There's no way to say it's not a good movie. It's a bit, I guess I would say, just from a pure movie standpoint, it's a bit overwhelming with all the stuff they're throwing at you.
Right, yeah.
But I could see how it could be a comic book lover's wet dream.
Yes, exactly.
And also the universe. I mean, they've constructed a great universe. So to bring all of them together and have, I mean, how much could you really devote to? Yeah, I mean, you can't. It's not an art movie, obviously.
Exactly.
It's popcorn. It's pure popcorn.
I mean, I can see what you're saying about that because I mean, the casual fan's not going to be as excited about it and understand everything that's in it as an enthusiastic fan would be.
I think that's.
I think but even so, you enjoyed it. You think
absolutely
it's a
good movie, very good.
Yeah,
movie.
It's a great superhero movie, great action movie, and I loved it. I thought
lots of fun.
And the great part is that they had all these actors in separate movies and the chemistry they had together. Like, who would have known that they would have had this great of chemistry together? So I thought that was real cool.
Everyone's well cast.
Yeah, absolutely. Even Loki as Thor's brother. He was
great.
Basically the villain.
Outstanding.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the Avengers.
Good call.
Love this movie.
All right, my number 4 is the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Now
nice.
I didn't know anything about what this would be. Don't know any of the history, whatever. This movie made me laugh through about, I don't know, at least half of it. I'm just cracking up. This movie is so much fun. I love it. So Chris Pratt was amazing, and Dave Bautista is good, and then you get the raccoon guy, Bradley Cooper,
Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah, it's just so much fun.
Groot.
Groot. Poor Groot.
I know, poor little Groot. Yeah, I mean, it totally took me by surprise.
Yeah,
it's
shocking.
I don't know anything about the comics in that regard, with Guardians of the Galaxy, but yeah, this one totally took me by surprise.
Zoe Saldana was really good in it.
Yeah,
This one kind of blew me away. It wasn't anything that I would think on any surface that this is going to be good.
Like you said, it made you laugh a lot. I love the incorporation of the music.
Yeah,
one of the best soundtracks in a movie.
Yeah, and the second one did well too on music because it's just playing classic hits, I guess. But
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I didn't like the second soundtrack as much as I did the first one, but this was still good. But I just love how they make you care about the characters.
The nostalgia element, this 80s thing. Everything's like. It's going back to our childhood now.
Right,
because I guess the people that are...
Well, because he left Earth during that time, so that's all he knows of Earth is...
I just want to say that we're getting 80s nostalgia and a lot of stuff
yeah,
now.
absolutely.
And this is another one.
But you got to think, the people growing up then are now making movies.
I know.
So I mean that you can understand.
Good for them.
I know, right? Well,
yeah.
Hey, we have a podcast.
We're doing our best.
We're doing what we can. We're doing what we can. But no, this is a great choice.
I love it.
This may or may not be on my list, but yes, love this movie. It was such a bold choice for Marvel to do this too, because it's like you said, you didn't know anything about the comics.
Really
I didn't know about the comics. Yeah, it was just like, okay. I was not excited to go see this movie. Not at all. And then I was just totally blown away. But again, I think that they had great chemistry.
It's also Chris Pratt carrying.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, the chemistry with them all.
The movie is literally, it's hilarious.
Yeah, it really is. And the chemistry along with the comedy, and it makes you care about the characters. And
yeah,
I think,
for sure.
I think that's just what Disney does all around, is just has good characters that, is able to cast well and make sure they have good chemistry, and then they're able to, make you care about them, like I said. So yeah, great choice. Love that. Love me some Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's all I got.
All right. My number 4 is, which was on one of your lists before, I believe, or at least in your honorable mentions, but in a different way. It was Captain America's Civil War. I do believe you might have had this on your honorable mentions, if not on the actual list for our overrated movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was it on your list, or
made it? Yeah.
Really?
Oh no, I might have. I don't know. I'd have to go back and listen. Yeah. But it was definitely in there. Why
don't you guys go back and listen?
Listen for me and tell me what I said.
Yeah, tweet us what he said. I mean, again, going back to the Avengers, bringing all the characters together, just first of all, it has one of the best action scenes in a comic book movie of all time, with the whole airport scene.
Yeah, we get the intro of Spider-Man in here.
The intro of Spider-Man. I don't know, just everything just put together. Again, you kind of have to see the other movies. You kind of had to see Winter Soldier, Captain America. You kind of had to see Age of Ultron, the second Avengers, to really get the full scope of everything. I mean,
Captain America, he's just kind of a stubborn jerk, though.
Yeah, you're not a Captain. You don't. Is it Chris Evans, or is it?
Yeah, I don't. Maybe.
Stubborn. Yeah. He is stubborn.
He's just like, come on, man. You gotta just like. Yeah. You got your principles. That's great for you. But the rest of us are trying to save the world here.
Right. Well, that's what I love about the movie, because at one moment, I'm on Captain America's side, and then the next moment I'm on the Iron Man side. It's like, man, I think they did a great job of balancing that back and forth, because you don't want. They don't want you to hate Iron Man after this movie, because they're going to make more movies with him, and he's a good guy. They don't want you to hate Captain America, because they're going to make more movies and he's a good guy. And I love that balancing act they did. You're like, okay, I can see his point of view, I can see Iron Man's point of view, and it's
nerdy.
he's just throwing it out there.
This is like, it's overwhelming.
Well, I mean. No,
I get it. No,
as a movie. I mean, even as a movie, just a character.
Well, as a standalone, then no. In a series of 50 movies,
but I'm just telling you. I mean, what? I mean, I'm sure there are movies out there, but you have two characters have conflicts in a movie. Usually, you're mainly going to side with one guy.
That's right.
You're not going to go back and forth. Like, okay, well, I kind of see what he's saying. Oh, well, I see what he's saying. Like, you're going on that back and forth.
Yeah,
and
I get you.
I think for a comic book movie to do that is pretty cool, and it gets you emotionally invested. But yeah, I just think action wise, this movie
was good.
Is just phenomenal, and I liked the story because I'm invested in this universe. So this is really nerdy, guys. we were talking about football before this, and now he's
he was telling me about
so sports.
Yeah, we need to pay attention to the next 30 movies where Iron Man is going to potentially need Captain America. So we can't make them too mad at each other. We need to work together in the end.
Oh wow! Okay,
well, that's like that's
way to shoot me down.
To me, that's how I see it.
That's how the layman sees it.
Because I'm not invested in the universe. I just enjoy them as one-offs. So
it's a little nerdy. I'll admit it, but
it's okay to be nerdy. It's fine.
I embrace it.
Believe me, I've been there. So
I've been there. You'll get better. No. Things get better.
No, I get nerdy. I went through a really strange Star Wars phase, like a number of years ago.
Really? What happened?
Nothing. I just kind of got burned out on it. Well, I heard all this stuff about oh, they're gonna do this live action series.
Oh,
Lucas
right,
teased.
yeah.
But no, I was on the forums and talking.
So this was before it sold, like Lucasfilm sold it to Disney.
Yeah, the years basically the Revenge of the Sith years.
Okay.
And after that, I was on the Force.net, if that's even still around.
I think it is actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was in the 1,000-page debate of did Darth Sidious let Mace Windu, or no, did Mace Windu let what was the debate? Did Darth Sidious let Mace Windu disarm him on purpose, or was it all a ploy to get?
What do you think?
Well, I think Mace Windu was a legit Jedi, and he legitimately had Sidious on the ground, and he could have killed him. But I don't.
So Sidious didn't let that happen.
I don't think.
And Anakin just walked in at the right time.
I think if Windu wanted to kill him, he could have killed him.
Yeah, I agree too. Yeah.
But
I would agree with that.
Many people think it was all this elaborate ploy, and then he did the lightning and shot him off.
Yeah, I don't think so, because why would you do that to yourself? Your face.
Well, because he's that's the thing. They ascribe these like genius qualities to these characters because Darth Sidious hatched this whole plot, which ended up coming. Maybe that's a critique on the movies more than anything. But
right? Yeah,
that's
true.
So this is the rabbit holes I've been down. So I do
see he's nerdy too,
and I am a Star Wars. So I've just proved my Star Wars
You're such a
bona fides here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you get in heated debates with people?
Oh, of course. There was factions.
Call people idiots?
Yeah.
Factions.
I mean, there was. I was a forum guy.
What was your name?
I don't remember.
Was it a Star Wars name?
It was some stupid thing.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be like X-Wing Guy 20.
Yeah, Jedi Knight, pumpkin eater. I don't know what.
Sorry for nerding out on Captain America: Civil War.
But yeah,
I enjoyed this film.
I'm calling you a nerd as a fellow nerd.
Oh, thanks, man.
But I would maybe say that I'm possibly a reformed nerd.
You went to rehab.
Yeah, I did.
You did a 12-step program
in
for
the best
nerdom.
facility, and
nice. All right, well, next week we'll do top 5 sports movies.
Yeah. So what number am I on here?
You are on your number 3.
My number 3 is the one that possibly started it all, the first Iron Man.
Yes. Okay. What you got?
It's
a really good movie.
I mean, we wouldn't have any of the stuff you're talking about if this movie failed.
Yeah,
none of this would happen.
Yep,
it would all be over.
Yeah,
and this is another one that just blew my socks off. I just saw it because I like Robert Downey Jr.
Right. Yeah,
and it was so well done.
And for Jeff Bridges to be, I really like Jeff Bridges in this movie. I know you're. Oh yeah, I forgot you're not a Jeff Bridges guy.
He's okay. This, you know what I didn't like? I liked him. I liked his look and the aesthetics and all that. I didn't like the final battle. I thought that was kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
There's no good payoff there.
I mean, I'd say the third act in any action movie is just kind of, just generic. I think it's always
true.
I think it's always the build up in these movies. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's always them fighting another version of themselves.
Right.
Which.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I couldn't think of a better guy, a better character to kick this whole thing off. He doesn't have superpowers. He's just a smug jerk who's hilarious.
Yep.
Which he is. And
Robert
he's
Downey
got
Jr.
this technology. You can sort of see this being possible.
Yeah.
The Iron Man. In a way. I mean, he's in Afghanistan, right? That's how they started. He's selling weapons and missiles and all this stuff. And it's a good origin story.
Yeah.
And it's just a fun ride.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and I think it's one of the most perfect casting of all. I might say all time way too much on the show, but
it's true though.
It's one of the most perfect casting of all time.
It's
Robert Downey Jr. basically is Tony Stark.
Yeah, it's the same guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They say Elon Musk, but Elon Musk is nowhere near as entertaining and funny.
Can he fly?
Absolutely not.
No,
I haven't seen Elon Musk fly.
And want to keep things light on the show, but again, just the turmoil of him actually being finally in the thick of it.
Yeah.
Being captured by these people and realizing that what he's made all this money on, what it's doing to the world, what it's doing to people, is just such a mind f. It's amazing stuff. Jon Favreau is the director. Phenomenal job.
Favreau's great.
I love Favreau. Yeah, as an actor, did you ever watch Dinner for Five?
No,
dude. I just got to it like a year or two ago. It's basically Jon Favreau had a TV show where he had just 4 other random celebrities just eat dinner and just talk. Like if you like just watching people just talk, like especially like celebrities that you like.
Who is it?
John. I mean, he's had Vince Vaughn on it. He's had Kevin James. He's had just everyone. Like
what is it?
Yeah, there's several. Like there's like 5 of them. I think you can get them all on YouTube. I want to say it was on HBO.
So it's like the comedians in cars with coffee.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Which do you like that?
No, I've never seen it.
It's good. No, it's good. It's good.
It's one of the scenes where I love Jerry Seinfeld. I want to see it, and I just
no, it's good.
I don't
it's
go any
just,
further.
Again, if you like just
because I know him and Vince Vaughn were like the thing.
Yeah. He's Ben Affleck was on it.
Okay.
Kevin Smith, just Mark Hamill. Yeah, dude, check that show out on YouTube.
Mark Hamill didn't creep everybody out when he was in
Mark
there.
Hamill's a cool guy. Come on, I'm not gonna let him talk bad about Mark Hamill here. He's a
totally
cool guy. Speaking of which, he voiced Joker on the animated Batman series. But yeah, Iron Man, great choice. I did not have it on my list, but I love this movie, and it's definitely in my top 10. But yeah, great choice. Do you have anything else on it?
No, it's great. It's
really
amazing
good.
movie. I loved it, and like I said, you would not be able to nerd out as much as you're trying to nerd out if this movie was not a success.
This is true.
This whole thing would have failed.
I don't think this show would exist without that.
Oh man, well then, thank God this movie was made.
Phew. Thanks, YouTube.
Thank you, Robert Downey Jr.
All right, so my number 3 is Spider-Man: Homecoming, the newest, probably the newest movie on our list. Finally, a Spider-Man in Tom Holland, a Peter Parker that actually seems like a high school student. Tobey Maguire. I really liked the first 2 Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Is that how you say it? Is that how you would say that? I really liked the first 2 Spider-Men.
Yeah, Spider-Man. Yeah.
Does that work? I don't know if that technically is the plural.
I don't know.
Andrew Garfield, I liked the first one of that. Didn't the second one was terrible. But anywho, but yeah, this movie, so much fun, so much comedy. Again, they kind of advertise it this way. So many other people have said it, but it is like a John Hughes comedy, kind of a coming-of-age high school movie. I just thought it was really fun, and I love Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
It's the original Batman. The original Batman's in this movie as a villain.
It kind of looked like the character he played in the Birdman movie.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's just crazy that they're both birds, and I think Birdman was actually from, because he was
to some kind of...
well, he was Birdman in like old movies he was in, just
okay.
like he was Batman in movies he was in, because he was almost like playing himself in Birdman.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, I think he was a great villain. But yeah, Spider-Man: Homecoming I think was just a really all along fun. I think again, this is kind of the theme of my list. Anyways, is great chemistry everywhere. I think he had great chemistry with the kid, his friend.
Marissa Tomei was good.
Marissa Tomei. I loved the ending, and I liked. You're gonna like this. I like the incorporation at the beginning, how it was basically the end of the first Avengers movie. I thought that was cool.
We're tying right in there. I'll say this is the only Spider-Man movie I think that I really liked.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't care for really any of them. I'm not a Peter Parker guy.
Interesting.
Because I think the portrayal of Peter Parker is just this kind of pathetic guy.
Yeah.
And I get that he's, he can put on the costume and the suit, whatever, and go be Spider-Man. But if you're annoying, I don't just want to see you be annoying. I want to see somebody, at least the Tom Holland portrayal. It was, like you said, it was funny, it was comedic.
Yeah, and it felt like a high school kid.
Right.
Yeah.
So I could sort of, just relate a little bit more to this. So this was much better done, I think. And I saw this, and very good. Yeah,
and I think it was cool that they included Iron Man in it, but I feel that he was used perfectly. Like, it didn't feel overpowering, didn't feel forced in there.
Yeah, I think the trailers seemed like he was in it a lot, right? Him making, like, little comments here and there. And you're right, he wasn't there. He was sort of a very distant mentor.
Right, exactly, yeah. And I thought that was great. And again, Jon Favreau, he was right in there.
Yeah, it's like the driver.
Yeah, happy.
He must love just taking those little roles.
Yeah.
Let's crack him up.
Yeah, definitely. But
great choice.
Yeah, I love this movie, and it slow. And actually, I don't know if it would have been in my top 5, but I just watched it again because I saw it in the theater originally, and then I just watched it again a couple weeks ago with my son, and I loved it just as much as, if not more so, this second time around. And so that solidified it on this list for Moi.
Good stuff.
Yep. All right, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is another Zack Snyder movie.
Ooh.
Watchmen.
All right. That one.
Yeah.
I confession time again on the show. I've had many
Oh.
confessions on the show. I've never seen Watchmen.
Mr. Comic Book Guy.
I've never seen Watchmen. It's DC. I'm more of a Marvel guy,
Oh, I see, yeah.
but Watchmen. Okay. What's yeah? I mean, I've heard great things. I mean to see it, but anyways, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What do you like about Watchmen?
This movie's really cool. It's an alternate timeline where Richard Nixon stays the ruler of. He doesn't get impeached. He stays on as president. They're comic book, or I'm sorry, they're like superheroes in real life.
Right.
They don't have any powers, but they're I don't know. They sort of just they fight crime, but in costume.
Who's the blue guy then?
Oh well, that's Dr. Manhattan, but he actually does. He's one of the few that ends up in it through a nuclear accident, which is really cool and really well done.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've heard great things about this movie.
It's really cool. So he's in this testing facility. He gets locked in this thing. It basically atomizes him, but then he reforms over, and then he becomes a god basically.
Yeah.
Where he's so super powerful, but there's some things he loses. He's completely detached from Earth and his relationship. It's really cool. He ends up on Mars. I don't know. I'm forgetting all this, but there's there's Rorschach, who's Jackie Earle Haley, who's just a badass.
Is that the one from he's in Bad News Bears? Is that him? Remember he was the kid in Bad News Bears?
Yes, Jackie Earle Haley was in Bad News Bears. But he plays what I like about this is again, it reminds me of some of the things that I like about Batman. They're just trying to bring order to a chaotic world. And it's just sort of it's a lesson on what you can control and what you can't and stuff like that. But it's a Zack Snyder, which means that the visuals are incredible.
Yeah.
So I don't want to talk much more on it, but you need to watch this movie.
Yeah, I know. I did. It's one of those movies that's on my list.
Oh, there's the comedian as well, who's...
Oh, it's Jeffrey Dean Morgan, right?
Yeah.
From Walking Dead, yep.
So in this one, it's the Vietnam War stuff.
Okay.
Where he's just blowing away the Viet Cong, and then Dr. Manhattan comes in and just kills everyone.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting.
So the comedian doesn't have any superpowers? He's just
badass. They're all really tough.
Okay.
So
Dr. Manhattan's the only one with powers.
Yeah, and then there's another guy, Voight, who has a super brain somehow, and I forget how he gets that.
Okay.
He's super smart.
Yeah, I need to check it out.
They're just regular people, I think, that might just be very strong.
Okay.
But it's a really cool story. You got to see this movie.
I know I do. It takes place in the 60s, 70s?
It's actually, so Nixon was 70s. I think it runs into the early 80s.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. See, you're what a nerd. This guy's seen Watchmen.
Yeah, lots of. I'm a Zack Snyder just guy. I guess. Everything he makes, I really like, and the critique just bounces off of me because I like all his movies. So
all right, well there you go. This guy is a mark for Zack Snyder. All right. So my number 2 is actually one we already talked about, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
I have that at my number 2. Great film, took me by surprise. I said everything I needed to be said about that. Our number 1. What's your? I think we share
the same
our
one.
number 1. Do you
the
have
one
any?
that I think is indisputable?
Oh, absolutely. Before that, though, did you have any others that you were fighting might have been on this list?
Not really.
Okay. I was kind of going back and forth with Batman, the original Batman, 1989. The original X-Men. I just dug it. Even Logan from this year.
I haven't seen that yet.
Logan, just tremendous.
I haven't been a big fan of the X-Men reboots, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think they're very overwrought.
I liked First Class, and then the Days of Future Past came out, and that had insane reviews, good reviews on it, and just that almost seemed a little overrated to me.
Well, here's what I'll say about what I don't like about them, real quick, is that they make me. So the whole conflict is between the X-Men or the mutants or whatever versus regular humans, and it's this idea of the humans, I guess, want to control/kill the mutants,
right?
And this is supposed to be bad, but yet the mutants are very destructive and they can kill everyone.
Right,
So
yeah.
I can't. In a way, I almost want to be like, yes, they should all be killed.
Yeah.
Because they're
you're-
like really violent,
Right,
And they
yeah.
actually kind of do need.
Yeah,
to be
you're almost
controlled.
on the good, like the people
the
in the
bad guy.
government side that
Yeah.
are like, oh no, they need to be, taken care of.
And like the James McAvoy and that whole side, they're completely ineffectual.
right,
So now they can't. Well, it's just like this constant pleading with what's his name, Magneto.
right, yep.
And he's obviously not coming around.
All right, when are you gonna just give up on that?
It's like, hey, we were friends all these years ago, so therefore don't be evil. And he's like, nah, no, that's really gonna work for me. It's like the same thing,
Yeah.
And it's like we need to fight to be who, there. Yeah. So that the whole the moral arc of that movie just fails flat
Right.
for me.
I
So,
got you.
all those.
To be fair, the original X-Men I said was in my honorable mentions.
Yeah, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
But Logan actually has nothing to do basically with anything. It takes place like years in the future, and like basically they did that in order for it to be just its own movie.
Patrick
that way
Stewart.
you didn't have to do. Yeah, Patrick Stewart's incredible in that movie. And
Is
even Hugh Jackman, this is the best he's been Wolverine. Honestly, I don't care what you say about X. No, I'm just saying whatever you say about X-Men. I really think you personally, just knowing your taste in movies, I think you'll really like Logan.
All right, I need to see this thing.
Yeah. All right. So
I can't think of any other honorables. So
yeah. So our indisputable one. Go ahead.
Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight.
I mean, how can this not?
This is one of the best movies ever.
Yeah.
I mean, on some ranking.
Action, drama, anything. Yeah. This is got to be
It's
up
a
there.
fantastic movie.
Yeah.
We've got the Joker in a way that has never been seen before. Not even in real life on film exceeded any cartoon, any comic book representation. This is the best portrayal of the Joker ever.
And it's almost because usually because obviously Heath Ledger played Joker phenomenally, and usually he died before
Clearly
the
affected
awards.
his life just doing this role.
Yeah,
right?
doing this role, and it's just when someone dies and they had a movie come out, it's like, oh yeah, that was such a good movie, but you're almost just like saying that just because it's like, oh, he died, so yeah, it was a good movie, it was great, let's give him the Oscar because he died.
This wasn't that case at all.
Alive, dead, whatever. This is just a phenomenal performance. He would have won the Oscar no matter what. Yeah,
they didn't just like toss him a bone.
Yeah. I mean, this is just one of the greatest performances. I'm going to say it again, of all time.
It's true.
Quite honestly, I mean,
and it's
no
Christopher
joke.
Nolan. that opening scene with the bank robbery. It's
phenomenal.
like, whoa, this thing is for real.
Yeah. I mean, you got criminals just unexpectedly you took care of the thing you needed to take care of. Boom, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like it's just like they're one by one dying.
All the way down to the
I was going to mention that scene too. Just that whole opening
It's
sequence.
brilliant.
Is just
And I think that
brilliantly
portion
done.
was much of this movie was shot in IMAX.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah. Actually, that scene was. You got to see that scene if you saw I Am Legend in IMAX when that came out. Remember I Am Legend with Will Smith? When that first came out, if you went to the theaters, the preview for it was the first scene of Dark Knight.
Yeah, because you could see, and I remember this actually when I think I did see this movie in IMAX. How the screen would be
it would extend.
It would be higher,
Yeah.
and would be all the non-IMAX stuff would like compress to like the normal ratio. But yeah, it dealt with a lot of stuff. There's that scene with you choose between the prisoners and the regular citizens because we assume that we're all monsters and we're all out for ourselves. So it's it's Christopher Nolan. There's doing stuff. He doesn't bang your head over his ideas, but they're important stuff. And he's an amazing director, obviously. We love all of his stuff.
Yeah.
This is just it looks good.
Can't wait to see what Dunkirk does in the Oscars this year.
It's the best. It's the best picture. So
yeah.
I don't care what comes out of it again, as I said.
Well, I mean, it also has the famous line: "Some men just want to watch the world burn."
Yeah.
How Alfred describes. I mean, as much as it's been memed and everything, it's just such a powerful statement.
Yeah.
I mean, some men don't need logic. Some men don't need reason. Some men just want to watch the world burn. Such a deep concept.
It was like burning that pile of money, right?
Yeah.
He's not doing it for greed. He's doing it because he is a figure of chaos.
Yeah, exactly what he even says.
It's
in
pure
the movie.
chaos. So, and it's that part. It's just like with Watchmen, and the thing that I like about all Batman stuff is I like order,
Yeah.
and I like characters that attempt to bring order to chaos.
Yeah.
And it's that conflict.
Yeah. And you did not need to see any other comic book movie this one. Like this, you can just turn this on. You've never seen even a Batman movie before.
Yeah, you didn't even have to see Batman Begins before this.
Yeah, you can just turn it on and just be enthralled.
This is 100% standalone, excellent movie.
Absolutely.
I think the third movie was a bit overrated. To me, this is the best.
Oh yeah, that was on your overrated, wasn't it?
This is the best movie of the trilogy.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is
down.
If you think about sequels, Godfather 2, Empire Strikes Back, and this.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be. I mean
it's one of the best sequels ever.
I know
of all time.
Thank you. Yes, I'm not the only one who said it.
No, really though. Think of a better sequel than any of
Empire Strikes Back, Godfather 2. Yeah, that's really all there is. in Dark Knight. Yeah,
it's a brilliant movie.
Absolutely.
It's beyond, like I said, it's beyond comic book.
And again, it's one of those movies where almost the performance by Heath Ledger makes the movie, but it's just besides the performance, it's just a great story. You know, Christopher Nolan just knows how to tell a story and build suspense and all that. So I mean, it's just absolutely amazing film. I mean, it's undoubtedly. I mean, a lot of people are going to have this on their number one. I mean, if it's not in your top 5.
It's almost like if you don't have this, then you're an idiot.
Yeah. I know.
What are you thinking, man? You don't have this.
I know film is subjective and opinions are subjective.
At some point, it's not. Right?
Yeah. At this point, this is objectively.
It's a brilliant film.
Yes.
It really is.
Yes.
So that's.
Yeah. So I think this is the first time we've ever talked comic book movies on this show with you. So.
I'm thrilled. Let's do more.
I bet you will. I bet you will. But watch Dinner for Five with Jon Favreau.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
That actually is right up your alley. And up my alley as well. All right, folks. Well, that is it for us. We appreciate you listening in. Make sure you tweet us your top 5 favorite comic book movies. On our Twitter at BlockbusterCast. You can tweet us personally. I am at BCcord.
And I am at Dave_Quist. And if you've got an opinion on the Darth Sidious and Mace Windu, we might put up a poll on that. Because I suspect there are some other nerds who have had the same conversation.
Yes, I mean, they've had to have. They've had to have. But, we learned some, revelations about Dave and his forum history with Star Wars.
I'm a recovering nerd.
All right, folks. Well, again, subscribe to us on YouTube and subscribe to us on iTunes. Leave comments, reviews, all that. We'd appreciate it.
Yeah, reach out to us.
All right, folks. Well, that is it for us. For Davo, I'm Ben Secord. And as always, why don't you go ahead and grab some popcorn. Grab some snacks. We'll catch you guys
at the movies.